Hi, so this is my first makeup video that I've ever done, because I do my makeup all the time, but people have like been complimenting me and always like, you need to teach me how to do this, you should do a video so I can see, because I got like friends all over the place. So I guess that's what I'm doing. I just took my day makeup off, so because like still some smudges. My eyes are a little sore, but we'll make it work. We always do. So first thing I do is I use Smashbox Photo Finish. It's like a silicone primer, and it has some like oils, grapeseed oil, extract, that kind of stuff in it, just to kind of smooth everything out. And I'm all like, I'll get this with this shit like all crazy. I don't loco. Just trying to like, cause I don't have time in the morning to like be like, I don't have time for that shit. I need to like get it done hardcore. So, and then this is what I do this is like really what I do in the morning. I conceal as much as I can, but I don't have time for 16 products. I mean, I have other concealer things, but as long as my under eye circle ain't bad, this is what I use. I use Boing. It's the number 01. It's the fairest one they have. If you can get it open, because my fingers are still kind of slippery from the primer. And the primer's just filling in lines. I don't really have a lot of lines. I do sometimes. I go like this when I get all angry at somebody. I'm like, that's when I have lines. But I just put it right on with my finger. Again, like, agarete. Real, like, I don't even care. Crazy. Because, again, it's like, you wake up and it's like, your alarm goes off at, 7:30. Like, I got dumb time before I get to work. Yeah, no, you really don't. Because, you got ADHD and you just took your Adderall. You're going to look up and, holy shit, it's 8:35 and it takes me a half hour to get to work. Late again. Oh, also I need gas. So I might as well just call my work and tell them I'm going to be there at 9:30 anyway. Which could be a sign of my irresponsibility and inability to succeed as an adult. But hey, we'll go with it. So I do all that. And I'm mainly high-end makeup, like higher-end makeup. Because once you start really like using some of the stuff at Sephora, like I like Urban Decay, I like Smashbox, I like Benefit, and Too Faced and Tarte are my favorite brands. They really don't. It really winds up being like not that. I feel like high quality stuff that'll last a little bit longer, and then I'll like be successful with. Makes me happy. So sometimes I could conceal this red. I have a lot of pink. Always have. My mother always be like, you blush on, when I was in high school. And I was like, no. For years I thought I didn't need blush because of that. So what I do is I really use drugstore foundation, like for real, the True Match, and I use that N2, which is a neutral light. It's like classic ivory. And what I do is I put it on this kind of brush. Like I just put my brush in there, which probably is wrong to some makeup artist somewhere, and just like pat it down like this, and then make these circular motions, just trying to like really get good coverage. Sometimes I have to pull your hair out the way, which is really why like, I have those sunglasses on, because I always have a pair of sunglasses on, because it pulls my hair out of my face, and I can still wear it down. Nose is kind of like, I try to do the nose after I did everything else, because otherwise it can be really easy to get too much foundation, and since it's not like a flat surface like your cheeks or your forehead, it becomes a little bit harder to blend everything in. And sometimes, yeah, you gotta take your fingers and go like that. And then I do my forehead again, dot, and then circular motions, and might have to like lift your hair up, and my skin's not like super shiny or super really anything, it just is kind of like real balanced, so I don't really have as many problems with needing a matte foundation or whatever. I don't know what this is. It's just super blendable makeup, which it is blendable, so they don't lie. So the next thing I do is my bronzer. Actually, no. The next thing I do is this. My eyebrows, because like my eyebrows, you can see them, but I just kind of like to make them stick out just a little bit more. Just because, like sometimes people will be taking pictures and you go back and look, you're like, where was my eyebrows at? So I use like, this is actually an Urban Decay little thing. You get it's like $20-something, and it's just a brow box. And I use the Honey Pot, which is the lighter one, because again, my like hair is it's light, but this is still darker than my actual hair. So I just like to like make them stand out a little bit more. You know, because I feel like, you know, it makes me look more polished. And I just use the brush that comes right in. There's some tweezers, and some wax. I barely ever use the wax just because I don't really feel like it helps me all that much. You know, I'm a nurse, but by the end of the day, it's not like so out of control that I need that. So I just move everything out. So then these are the brushes I use. They're the Sephora antibacterial ones. I really just buy the brush sets because to me they are like the best deal that I can get. Like I get all the brushes I need. It's like $45. Sometimes this one might have been $60. I don't really remember. And then I put bronzer on. I'm really fair skinned, and a lot of fair skinned people think that they can't wear bronzer. If you do it right, you can wear bronzer, and it actually kind of makes you look a lot like more awake. That's how I feel. I feel like it makes me look more together. So I use the Too Faced, which I love the way it smells like. I also love the way these brushes smell. Possibly smell like my powder, I'm not sure. But this one is the Sun Bunny. I also have the Snow Bunny, which has like some different. I don't have it right with me, but it has like a light brown, a darker brown, I think like a yellow, peachish, and then a pink highlight. They're all together, and you just kind of swirl and do what you're gonna do here. But I actually use this brush, where there's actually a powder brush, because my skin is so light that I really prefer to like. I prefer to have more. I feel like it gives me more control. Like I can not get as much product on it, and then if I need more, layer it on. So I kind of go like I'm all happy. Go like this. And I just really try to get like kind of like a sculpted look. So I also feel like that thins my face out a little, because like I feel like, you know, like I don't like to pull my hair back because I feel like it makes my face look really chubby. So I do this instead. And then I also do like places that the sun would naturally hit, like your cheeks. They kind of like stick out. Your forehead is right up there, so yeah. You know, you're gonna do your forehead too. And then a little bit on my nose, and then also my chin. So it kind of hits like these like really important points. You got your cheeks, your nose, chin. It's kind of like Jesus Christ wanted us to wear makeup. So that's the bronzer. And some people use a kabuki brush with bronzer. I don't, because like I am so fair skinned that a lot of time it leads to like excessive bronzer, and you wind up looking fake, because anybody can wear bronzer if they wear it light enough. You know, if you're a vampire, maybe not, but if you're a vampire, you're probably happy that way, so I guess it really don't matter. So then I use NARS Orgasm. Just get that open. It's kind of like it's like a pinkish orange color, and it's got shimmer in it. And I also use Deep Throat, which I think is a little bit more dramatic. And but either or, for like going to work. And I use the kabuki brush with this because I want more on it. So I'll go like this, and I do the same thing. And like I try to get all the way up here. It's just a little bit more high drama, but I'm all about the drama. Even on low drama days, it's still drama. And you can already see, like, you can already see. It's like adding definition to my face, and I also do feel like it does make me look better. I mean, not that I'm not like whatever saying whatever, but I just like how kind of like thins out my face and brings definition to it, because that's really like a look that I like to have when I go out and when I go to work, and I like to look like awake, and that's what makeup does for me. If you don't like makeup, you don't have to wear it, and I'm never gonna pressure anybody to do what they don't want to do. But hey, if you like how I do my makeup, here I am. So then I use an eyeshadow primer, and this is one of my favorites. It's the Eye Insurance. It's by Too Faced. Urban Decay's Primer Potion is another favorite, which I have a lot of that actually, because I have so many palettes. I get one every time I buy a palette almost, and I like it a lot. But this one is a little bit thinner, whereas that one's thick, and sometimes I feel like it is easier to get like coverage, especially if I'm gonna go underneath with this one. And again, I just use my fingers, because fingers are like the best tool we have sometimes for makeup. So, and this is like where I'm at. Like, I could go out like this right now, be like, and how you doing? But I won't. So I'm actually going to again pop this out. This is my favorite brush. I see no need for eyelash curlers. There's a lot of stuff I leave out because it isn't applicable to my routine. But this is actually the new Too Faced Romantic Eye Palette, and they just have a matte eye palette that came out as well. But I kind of like the shimmers a lot more, so that's what I stick with. I'm gonna do the fashion. There's cards that come in here that could be helpful. They have like day, classic, and fashion. I don't really use cards, like whatever, throw them away. For me, when you first get started, they definitely are helpful. But once you know how to do smoky eye, and like everything you wind up doing a lot of the time eye-wise is a variation on smoky eye, so what's the point? But I'm gonna do the fashion one, which is the bottom, and this big color right here. They give you so much of it because in their cards they say like to cover all the way up here. I don't do that because I feel like it's a waste of time. So what I start with is this color right here. And these kits are really helpful for when you're first getting started, because you do enough of these and then you got your own colors. You get like a palette with 20 colors, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna use this one together, and you get the same look. So I'm gonna use the Honeymoon, and that is just gonna go like this, and I pull it all the way out. And they say you're not supposed to do that because it's gonna like give you all kinds of problems. You're gonna have wrinkles. I'm gonna have wrinkles anyway, and I'm planning on getting my ass some Botox so I don't have too many. And then again, the same thing out there. Just trying to make sure I get everything. And I just bring it up a little bit above the crease, like up here, because your crease is like right here, and I bring it up a little bit out, because then you're gonna be like, putting your dark color, which you're gonna smoke, the one you smoke out. You're gonna be putting that color there on top of it, and I feel like it's better to have that color already in the crease and a little bit above it to blend. And I also feel like, if you bring it a little bit too far out, like, you can cover that up later. Okay. So that's just the golden. I guess, we could go out like this. If, you normally don't wear any makeup, people, that's good. I mean, that's good enough. That part wouldn't take an expert to do. As far as, okay, and the new dark color is going to be the one you smoke it out with. The Ever After is what it's called in here. I use way less of that in the brush, and I use the same brush for the crease and then for smoking it. And then it's the highlight that I'm going to use less of. But I start with just a little bit because, you can always put more on, but you can't always take it off without having to take everything off. So I just start like you saw. I go down like this, and I bring it out, kind of like a triangle at the edge, and then I go in like so. And then I do the same thing over here. Bringing it out, bringing it back in. And you can already see it's like adding definition. It's kind of like sculpting your eyes a little bit. That's how I feel like. Like I just took, yeah, my face is still the same. But I just took my eyes to like, okay, their eyes. To like, holy shit, those shits is popping. And then I just trying to like make sure that I'm looking pretty even on both sides, which I think I am. I'm a little bit more over here. Like I said, I'm bringing it out like toward the edge. Just look like that, I'm bringing it out like past. I'm bringing it out like past here, like out here, and then shading up a little bit. So fine, you know what? Really, you get to a point where you could go out like this because you get enough skills. But when you're like not so good at blending, I find the highlight is like really a good trick. Which highlights, they look good. They're fine, whatever. It's your highlight. This right here is gonna be that yellow right there. So just take some, I put it on a brush, and then it's really like you're kind of softening like all the smoking I just did, because otherwise it can look a little amateur. Which you can still tell that I've been shading and I shaded, but it's like not as like prominent, and it kind of just softens everything up a little bit, especially if we're trying to be romantic. So then I also take that and I go with my middle color, and I go right here, which is kind of like, just put it underneath. Kind of just adds a little bit more color around your eyes, making stuff pop. So, and that part is not too finicky. I mean, you just put a little bit underneath. Most people don't even notice, but I do. So, that's all for eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is pretty easy once you get used to it. Like, obviously, you have to slow it down a little bit, but and then comes my eyeliner and my mascara and my lips, which these really are like the easy part. I use Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Pencil, the darkest black you have. They have, this one is 0. I think there's one called Perversion now, but I think that might be a glitter one. So I just go all like this up in here. I feel like I get a little too much in there, which I totally did. I like take care of that now. Actually, I get a mirror so I can see a little bit better that way. Okay. Actually, not looking that bad. So then the same thing over here. And you gotta be like real careful to not like to not get like all over the place, because some people are like a little bit sloppy about the waterline, and then you wind up making a mess, which a little bit of a mess can be overcome because you're just gonna put mascara on the bottom anyway. But you know, your hands slip. You're like, you got black all over your face. You either gotta start over, or you gotta figure out how you're gonna conceal it. And if you ain't good with concealer, that might be a problem. So then I also use this. It is Smashbox. It's the, you're not gonna be able to see this, but it's the Jet Set. Maybe a little bit. Jet Set waterproof eyeliner in midnight black. Again, blackest black I can find. I am told sometimes by some people that, you know, you look like the tart daughter of like a millionaire's tart daughter. I wish I was the daughter of a millionaire. Like, my life would be way better, but unfortunately I'm not. So I pull it to the side again. Just because that's what works for me. I know, you know, wrinkles. Pero, I mean, I don't know. I know it's wrinkles, but shit. We all gonna get wrinkles anyway. And what they made plastic surgery for. Botox. And I like the ones you apply with a brush because I feel like I have more control. Or like a pencil goes, you know, and then you got a big mess and you just look like you put it on with a Sharpie. You can bring it out how much you want. The more you bring it out, the more dramatic it's gonna look. Okay. So then I'm gonna do this eye. Which is like, sometimes like you're doing it all backwards up in here. Because when I'm in the mirror, it's a little bit different. Again, you're just like, and when you go in this way, you want to like dial it down, like how much you're putting and like how dark it is. And that's part of like the good thing about the brush is I put a little bit on, whereas with a pencil, it's always going to be the same intensity, unless it's kind of like a harder pencil, which they frustrate me though, so I'd rather use a brush. And I really feel like the eyeliner really like makes everything, you know, like I said, I mean, it makes it pop a little bit more. There I go dropping stuff. That's probably the eyeliner. I mean the mascara. So, you know, and I'm trying to go a little bit. It's Friday night, you know, trying to make it like a little bit higher caliber up in here. I'm dropping shit. Okay, so then you're ready for mascara, and I'm gonna use this one tonight, which is by Bare Essentials. And I try to like make sure I don't get too much excess on it. And then I do, and like if you need to blow your nose or you're gonna sneeze, you're gonna feel it coming out. I always brush my teeth before I do my mascara, because if you brush your teeth, they're like, and then it's all over your face. So and I like to really like wiggle it back and forth like that, because that provides you like better coverage. So again, on this side, and I do, you know, bottoms first and then the tops. I don't do one eye at a time, just because, I mean, you get your own routines for what works best for you. And don't ever go across like this. You need to change the way the brush goes, because otherwise you will end up with a big mark right between your nose. Don't ask me how I know that, because you probably already know. Yeah, bitch, that happened to you, didn't it? It sure did. Yeah, I'm running late to work. Why was you late? Well, I had a big black mark all across my nose, because I'm dumb and I can't figure out that I'm going to get black shit all over my nose. And, you know, look, I just got a black mark right there. So you can fix that pretty easily. I just rub it out like a little bit like that. I finished what I'm doing, which would be this eye. And see, not going across with it. You really don't want that line right there. You're gonna be pissed. You might show up at work without makeup, and if you're the kind of person like me who wear makeup every day, the day you don't, everybody's like, "You feel all right, girl? You sick?" No, I don't have makeup on. So, and just close all your stuff as you go, because I have left my house and left shit open and on. It made me so mad. So I had a black mark, which I really can't find, but basically I usually just, if that happens, I'll let it dry a little bit, and then I just go back under with some concealer. And obviously if it's still showing, I take more, desperate measures, but I try not to have to do that if I can help it. So the last thing to do is my lips. And generally I do have a lot of like drugstore makeups, like lip stuff, but sometimes like Sephora, when they change their packaging, like I just picked up a whole bunch of their lip glosses like this, because they changed their packaging, so everything was clearanced out at $3. These is normally $10. So it worked. Otherwise, like this, I paid $25 for, and it is a Tarte, what's it? A Tarte matte lip stain. It's peppermint infused, which I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is, but it kind of like stays on a little bit longer. And like generally, I don't really go all out unless I'm doing something like important, like I'm going out or whatever, because by the time I get to work, this shit's gonna be all over the coffee I was just drinking. So I just go like this. I don't do lip liner because, like I said, it comes off real easily, and my focus is more on my eyes. I bring attention up and leave me balanced. So I do that, and that's gonna be real, and it feels weird to me. So this is like I don't know what the name of the color is, but it is one of the Sephora lip glosses that I got for like $3, and it's kind of like a shimmery nude pinkish color, kind of, and I can put it over anything. So I just go right over what I just put on, and that kind of finishes my look. Like it makes very balanced, because I'm very like into the symmetry and the balance. So I feel like this makes me look like, like at first I put the bronzer on, and it looks kind of like, oh my god, look at all that, no, because once everything else is on and you got most of your attention on your eyes, which is what I do usually, or wherever you're putting most of the attention on your makeup, it kind of draws attention away from things that when you're first putting it on, you're like, oh, that's too much. I mean, there are times when, yeah, you're gonna have too much, but I mean, I put too much bronzer on, I covered it up with some kind of more like translucent powder. It just kind of toned it down. But this is pretty much my everyday look, which is funny because this is the fashion one, which is supposed to be like hardcore, like glam, I guess. But I wear this shit to work. I don't care. As long as, I mean, like my employee handbook says, your makeup has to be natural looking. I mean, if you do it well, people aren't gonna, if I came in with bright pink striped 80s eyeshadow, it would be a different story, but I don't, so this is what I come in with. Alright, so we'll see what I have in store for next time. If there's a next time, it probably will be, because I love makeup so much. But that's it.